Hi, this is your host, and today we're going to talk about some extinct dwarf elephants that once roamed the Mediterranean islands. Many people are familiar with pygmy elephants from the island of Malta, but did you know that there was also a population of pygmy elephants on the neighboring island of Cyprus? In fact, the two populations were once connected, and there was a time when you could walk across from one island to the other. The scientific name for the Maltese or pygmy elephant is Palaeoloxodon. It is an extinct species of dwarf elephant that was endemic to the Mediterranean island of Malta. Fossils of this species have been found in various places around the island, indicating that it was once widespread. This, combined with rising sea levels, resulted in the formation of a channel between Malta and North Africa, which eventually became the Strait of Sicily. Adult males weighed around 3 tons and stood up to 2 meters tall at the shoulder, while females were smaller, weighing about 2 tons and standing around 1.8 meters tall. Despite their small size, they had relatively large heads and long tusks, and that had arrived on the island of Cyprus around the same time, 146,000 years ago. However, as mentioned earlier, rising sea levels and the formation of a land bridge between Cyprus and Syria in the north and Egypt and Palestine in the south led to the separation of these elephant populations. Over time, they evolved into distinct species, and who knows, maybe one day we will discover more about them through ongoing paleontological research. Also, if you have a favorite extinct animal that you would like me to cover in a future video, just let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Until then, they will continue to captivate our imaginations and remind us of the rich history of our planet. This in turn led to the isolation of the elephant population on the island. Adult males weighed around 2.7 tons and stood up to 2.4 meters tall at the shoulder, while females were around 2.1 meters tall. Again, despite their small stature, they possessed large heads and prominent tusks. However, over time, rising sea levels and evolving environments caused the separation of these elephant populations, and eventually they became distinct species. Let's take a closer look at these fascinating creatures. Like the Maltese pygmy elephant, this species is also extinct. In fact, it went extinct around 5,000 to 10,000 years ago. The fossil record of this species is not as extensive as that of the Maltese pygmy elephant, but fossils have been found in several places on the island of Cyprus, such as at Sheikh, Osman, and these fossils include teeth, tusks, and a few bone fragments. The species was named after the island where it was found, Palaeoloxodon malthusi. This species is believed to have arrived in Malta around 146,000 years ago when it was still connected to mainland Africa. At this time, the island was much larger than it is now and had a much different climate. It was warmer and wetter, which made it suitable for elephants to live there. The discovery of this species was actually quite by accident. In 1876, a British colonial engineer named H.M. Morris was excavating a well in his garden in Gio, which is a small town on the island of Malta, close to the capital city of Valletta. During the excavation, he uncovered some elephant bones and tusks, which he initially thought might have come from an ancient Roman elephant. However, he soon realized that they were from an animal that was much smaller than any elephant he had ever seen before. He sent some of the bones to the Malta National Museum, where they remain to this day. In the Italian paleontologist Giacomo Bontempi studied the remains and determined that they belonged to a new species of dwarf elephant. However, over time, the climate began to change, and the island became drier. These elephants were much smaller than their mainland counterparts. Now let's talk about the Cypriot dwarf elephant, which is known scientifically as It is believed that the Cypriot pygmy elephant was once part of the same population as the Maltese pygmy elephant. The Cypriot dwarf elephant was slightly smaller than the Maltese dwarf elephant. Both the Maltese and Cypriot dwarf elephants are believed to have gone extinct due to a combination of factors, including changes in habitat and climate, hunting by humans, and possibly competition with other animals for food resources. So there you have it, a closer look at some fascinating, extinct dwarf elephants that once roamed the Mediterranean islands. I hope you enjoyed learning about these gentle giants. If you liked this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more content.